Welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, presented by Mountain Dew Baja Blast, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball and Dodgers Nation. Get a Baja for a blast this MLB season and enjoy a refreshing splash of tropical lime flavor. What is going on with Shohei Ohtani? Dave Roberts decided during the game that Shohei Ohtani was not going to hit and pitch after days before saying he was going to hit and pitch. What changed? What is going on with Shohei Ohtani at the plate? Does this signal that things are going to be changing for Shohei and how the Dodgers use him? Also, the Dodgers offense comes alive in Houston. Kyle Tucker gets boos, but then has a big night. Alex Freeland has a big night at the plate, and we've got some great injury updates to get into. All that more coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live. Dodgers team is going to 3.
Nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball.
Los Angeles wins it 3-1.
The Dodgers are ruining baseball. Let's get 4 more wins and really ruin baseball.
Oh my goodness! Shohei Ohtani! Whoa! Bounces one up the middle, bats to the back, over to first to beat the champ. You gotta knock him out. The Dodgers stand tall and win back-to-back titles.
Big blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Live from the heart of Los Angeles, this is Dodgers Dugout Live with your host, Doug McKain.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at Dmac_LA. If you're new to the show, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, drop a like, drop a comment down below. This show is also brought to you by GearUp.LA, the official merchandise store of Dodgers Nation. Go pick up some fire t-shirts over there. Today's Dodgers Dugout Live poll question of the show. Kind of love this one. Kind of went in on this one. Very interesting to see what the results are so far. And I asked you guys over on the X, what is more valuable to the Dodgers? Shohei Ohtani the pitcher or Shohei Ohtani the hitter? And right now, 37% of you say the pitcher, 63% of you say the hitter. We'll get back to that poll a little later, but I want to hear your thoughts on that as well. I'll hear from you guys during the 7th inning stretch, where I answer all your thoughts, comments, and questions about your boys in blue. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But there is so much to get into in the world of Dodger baseball, so let's get right into it.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
All right, so the hottest story in Dodger baseball is that Shohei Ohtani is pitching tonight in Houston. He just won the National League Pitcher of the Month. He's been incredible on the mound. He's the leading odds for the National League Cy Young. He's been absolutely incredible. And a .6 ERA, 2-1, a 10.2 strikeouts per 9, a 270 walks per 9, a .87 whip. This stuff's been absolutely off the charts this season. No doubt about that, that as a pitcher, he has been absolutely incredible beyond belief. He has exceeded expectations, I think, even for himself with the start that he's gotten off to. And there's no doubt that he is locked in to being a pitcher. He is locked in to pursuing a Cy Young this season. As I told you this offseason, that's what I heard, and that's what his mission has been, and that's what it has really continued to be. But now the question is, what is going on with the two-way status? Because all of a sudden, Shohei Ohtani is not going to hit and pitch tonight in Houston. And that is a change after Dave Roberts said that he was going to pitch and hit and resume his two-way status, but things have changed. Ohtani is not going to do it. And a lot of I think this has to do with the fact that offensively, he just does not look right at the plate. And it's been a while since Shohei Ohtani has hit a home run. Shohei has not hit a bomb in 84 plate appearances. He has one home run in 84 plate appearances, and you just look at his overall offensive numbers, this slump that he's on. He's 0 for his last 17. Did draw a couple walks yesterday, which definitely is good. That means you're seeing the baseball. That means you're not chasing. That means you're starting to feel it for sure. But this is Shohei's longest slump, really, of his career as a two-way player. I mean, he had some back in 2022, and there was some times when he definitely slumped. But right now, Shohei Ohtani, you look at his offensive numbers across the board, they're down. Every single category, they're down. Last year, he hit 282, which was down from 310 in 2024. But his batting average, if you're a batting average guy, I'm not a big batting average guy, right? I mean, but it's still an indicator of overall hits, and there is some measure to it for sure. He's a career 280 hitter. This year, through 35 games, 158 plate appearances, that batting average down to 240. His on base is the most consistent because he's still drawing walks. He is a career 375 on base. He has a 382 on base. So that's kind of the one area where it's been pretty consistent. I mean, last year, a 392 on base. The year before that, a 390. So it's still a 382 on base, but it's the slugging that has taken the biggest hit. His slugging percentage, which has never been lower than 600 with the Dodgers, had a 646 slug, a 622 slug in 2025. It's down to 432. 432 slugging percentage. And you look at slugging percentage, what's good, what's great, kind of where he's at, and a real great slug. I mean, the average slug in 2009, last year, you're looking around, 430. I mean, anything 460 to 520 it's considered above average for sure. But this is Shohei Ohtani we're talking about. And to have a 432 slug for him is pedestrian. He has this season hit 6 home runs in 158 plate appearances. And you look at just where that slug is in comparison to the rest of the league and kind of where that stacks up. This is just not the Shohei Ohtani that we're expected to see, that we've been accustomed to seeing. You look at where he's usually at, it's top 5, right? He's under Aaron Judge, but there's really not a lot of guys that will outslug Shohei on a given year. And right now, Shohei, he's 62nd in Major League Baseball. 62nd in Major League Baseball in slug. Home runs, Aaron Judge 14, Munetaka Murakami 14, Matt Olson 12, Yordan Alvarez 12, Mike Trout has 10, Schwarber, that list, you got those guys kind of leading the pack. Shohei Ohtani, where he's at, I mean, this is just it's concerning. It is. It really is it is concerning for sure when you look at just his offensive output, which we've seen him go through slumps throughout his career. There's no doubt about that, hey, he's a guy that will be streaky at times, but 6 home runs this season has him at 41st in Major League Baseball. 41st in Major League Baseball. This is not Shohei Ohtani. So the big question is, are they giving him time off to recalibrate his swing? Because yesterday in Houston, he did something that he only does when he's struggling, and that is take on-field batting practice. He took 55 swings a day before he's supposed to start a game. That's a lot of swings. That tells you that he's trying to work himself through something. And you did see him kind of go to right center on some stuff, staying through the baseball, not pulling the baseball. The posture does look right, but the bottom line is the results aren't there, and we're just not seeing that explosion coming off the bat for Shohei. So I think moving forward, if they're going to commit to this plan, at this point, I'm ready to concede that if they're all in on Shohei making 25 to 30 starts this season, which is what it would require for him to win the Cy Young, that this is just something that they should just do permanently and have Dalton Rushing DH, because the bat has been good for Dalton Rushing. And the truth is, hey, maybe this team has become overly reliant on Shohei Ohtani. Maybe you've got a bunch of B students and C students that think, hey, we've got the A+ student here on the group project, and he's going to do all the heavy lifting, and he's going to do all the work. Maybe we're too reliant on him. So maybe that one day a week with Shohei out of the lineup, it forces guys like Kyle Tucker, who hit a home run yesterday, and Alex Freeland, and guys like Freddie Freeman, who I think should also get some additional time off and give Dalton Rushing some time at first base. I think both of those guys, really, Freddie Freeman and Shohei Ohtani, I think it's time to accept that we've played a lot of postseason baseball the last couple years. We are north of 30, 35, 31, 36. We're getting up there in age. And if the ultimate goal is to win the World Series and make sure that we have enough left in the tank by the time the World Series comes around, well, that is, I think, something that needs to be recalibrated and discussed within this team. Is, hey, we get it, Freddie, you won 3,000 hits. We get it, Shohei, you won 40, 50-plus home runs, another unanimous MVP. We get there's the individual accolades and statistics that look, just being honest, that is the truth. These are a factor. I know they're not going to say that, but it's a factor. But the Dodgers and Dave Roberts and Andrew Friedman, the front office, as much as you want to be that superstar franchise that caters to superstars and lands superstars, you also have to save players from themselves. And players are going to play. Freddie Freeman is as good as he is, and Shohei Ohtani is as good as he is because they had talent, work ethic, and they're also a little delusional. When you haven't done something yet in your life, you have to believe you can do it and be almost delusional when you look at the statistics and the amount of people that have accomplished those things. And that's a skill. That's a talent. Being delusional is a strength, but it also, when it's the later stages of your career, when you do get older and father time starts knocking out that door, it's something that I think can start to become a detriment if you don't have some honest conversation. So I think moving forward, if they feel like there is this attrition with Shohei hitting and Shohei pitching, he's already proven he's still a two-way player, right? He is. And yes, that would take some of the absolute cinema away from it, right? It would take the cinema away from, oh, wow, he's the true unicorn. He can pitch and he can hit on the same day. And I don't want to hear the haters 30, 40, 50 years from now saying, oh, he didn't pitch and hit on the same day. He's done that. He's been there. He's showed what he could do in Game 4 of the NLCS last season. I'm sure he'll still do it a few times, and he could still physically do it if he wanted to. But what's the point at this point? You have a really good DH in Dalton Rushing who not only needs at-bats, he needs to develop. He needs to go through slumps. He needs to make adjustments. And you're only going to hurt him by not giving him more opportunities. And then you got Shohei that you're making him happy because you're saying, hey, this year it is all about what you're able to do on the mound. And also, hey, look, if we get 30-30 this season, plus a 2 ERA, guess what? Unanimous MVP again. Hell, if we get sub-3 ERA with 25 starts in a 20-homer season, it's unanimous MVP, okay? So I don't think he's got that to worry about. I do think big picture moving forward, and I asked Shohei Ohtani myself. I talked to him in Atlanta at the All-Star game. I said, Sho, how long are you going to try to do this? Pitch and hit. You got 8 more years left on your contract. He said, as long as I can do it, I'm going to try. As long as my arm is healthy enough to pitch, I am going to try to be a two-way player. But I do think that if he wins the Cy Young and he satisfies that, he scratches that ultimate itch, becomes the first Japanese-born player to win a Cy Young, I think moving forward, you wonder, does his dad get his wish? And you remember his dad pushed for him to become a outfielder and stay a hitter to prolong his career. Is that something that is more of a conversation if he wins the Cy Young this year and proves that, hey, I was already the best pitcher in baseball? Makes you wonder. Maybe not next year, but I think we're closer to it if he does accomplish that. And I think when you look at what's more valuable for this team, there's no doubt about it. It's what he can do offensively. Because the truth is, there is a much bigger gap between the best version of Shohei Ohtani as a hitter than the second best hitter on this Dodgers team. Because when he is right as a hitter, he is 70 to 80% above league average, right? 70 to 80% above league average. The only hitter in baseball that puts up better numbers than Shohei when he's absolutely at the peak of his powers is Aaron Judge, right? So the gap between Shohei and Freddie and Shohei and Mookie and Shohei and Kyle Tucker as a hitter is a lot wider than the gap between Shohei the pitcher and Yamamoto the pitcher and Blake Snell the pitcher and Tyler Glasnow the pitcher. Because the Dodgers have got more aces than a deck of cards. It's the murderer's rotation. And yes, it's great to see Shohei. Even though Shohei has been the best pitcher on the Dodgers this season, their second best pitcher is a lot closer to him than their second best hitter when he's right. So the truth is, if they lost Shohei Ohtani as a hitter, this team would be done. Like, they would not win the World Series. I'm confident in saying that. If they lost Shohei Ohtani, the pitcher, they would still have a really good chance to win the World Series. So let's hear from Dave Roberts. Let's hear what he had to say. And Dave making moves on the fly during the game and saying, hey, I'm changing my mind. Shohei Ohtani is not going to pitch and hit. Here's Dave Roberts.
Dave, I know we talked about it yesterday, and even, of course, you guys getting back in the win column, but it's feeling like the offense just wasn't there quite yet. Today, 13 hits, 8 runs. Did it feel like this team is just kind of getting back to whether it's true self or just the offense that we're so used to seeing?
I think so. Tonight was a good night. Obviously Will had a good night. Alex had a really good night. I thought Freddie got some big 2-out hits. And we just kept tacking on, which is good. I thought after that first inning, Yoshinobu settled down. But, yeah, I think tonight the offense was the story, and it was good to see us look a little bit more normal.
You get it just up and down the order. I mean, having a guy like Alex Freeland having a 3-hit night, his second home run on the season, I mean, what does it do just when truly everyone is getting going? Yeah,
it's good. We haven't had that in quite some time. And so, yeah, it just kind of speaks to how good we can be. But I do think that tonight was a really good night for Alex. He's been kind of going through it for a while now, and so to get some results, hit that homer that he hadn't hit in probably a month ago, so to get that backside homer was good. But, yeah, I think that the pitching has been consistent, and it's just nice to see our offense come out and, take a lead, give it back up, and then take a lead again and not give it back up. So across the board, I got no complaints with the offense.
Even when the other side is having the issues with pitching injuries that they're having, is there something meaningful to doing what you're supposed to do against a group like that? Yeah,
it is. It is. And, even in that first inning where we, first 2 guys get out and then we find a way to get a run across with 2 outs, that was good to see. It's still hard to win a big league game, score runs, and, regardless of what those guys are going through on the pitching side, for us to kind of, put that out of our minds and be present in the game that's in front of us is important. And that's what we did tonight. And hopefully, we got Lambert, who we've seen before. We got some history with him. So we can kind of build on what we did tonight and, go out there and win a series tomorrow.
So you hear Dave Roberts right there, and yeah, he makes it very clear. I mean, it was a good game for the Dodgers. Really find a way to get the offense going. We'll see if that continues to sustain. Now, we did get some really good injury updates yesterday. Things are starting to progress from an injury front standpoint where you feel like, hey, the Dodgers are going to get healthy. The Dodgers are going to make sure that they're not going to rush guys back, but at the same token, they are going to try to get their roster full to make sure that, hey, like, this is our best version of this team. And Kike Hernandez is going to start a rehab assignment this week. It could happen as soon as today, coming back from that left elbow surgery. Mookie Betts is going to face live pitching this Thursday. If everything goes to plan, if everything goes well, he could start a rehab assignment. Now, Tommy Edman is on a slower program. It's going to take some time for him. We talked about Brusdar Graterol already starting that rehab assignment for Oklahoma City. But the interesting thing is, if you get Kike back and you get Tommy Edman back later, but you get Mookie back sooner, you look at this roster and it becomes what is going to be that roster move. And the roster move for that is, you're looking at kind of a situation where we kind of have these conversations where, oh, is it Kim? Is it Freeland? Is it Espinal? Who's going to be the odd man out? And it kind of just takes care of itself, because you look at the roster, Shohei rushing Smith, look at the outfield, Tucker Pages, Teo Call. The roster move comes in the infield. Santiago Espinal, Alex Freeland, Freddie Freeman, Ha-Seong Kim, Max Muncy, Miguel Rojas. So Shohei comes back, or Mookie comes back, then I think you get Kike back. So you DFA Santiago Espinal, and then you got to fit one in for Freeland and Kim. And then, hey, Freeland had a really good game yesterday. It was first home run since the beginning of the season against the Diamondbacks. But I think Kim fits this roster better in the sense that he's a left-handed hitter that has a lot of success against righties. Feels like he's just always making something positive happen. And he's shown the ability to play a more premium position. And that's because of the opportunity he was given. But still, the offense with Kim, he's hit 308 with a 119 weighted runs created plus, 73 plate appearances, a home run, and 8 RBI. And yes, they don't trust him a lot against lefties, but you look at Alex Freeland, and he did have a big night yesterday. Give him credit for that. But the overall body of work, the offense has been a lot, not significantly down because he's gotten more opportunities, but the strikeouts have been high, on base has been lower, has a 94 weighted runs created plus, 6% below league average. So he's been a below average hitter. Kim's been an above average hitter. Also, Kim gives you a pinch running aspect to it. And here's another thing too I want to point out is, yes, we think Mookie Betts is going to come back and play shortstop, but having Kim with the ability to play short, who knows? Maybe they do entertain the idea of Mookie at second, and then you mix in Kim and Rojas at short as a possibility if you want to take some of that physical strain off of Mookie Betts. So that's something that I always wonder, is that a possibility? Could they do that? Is that something they would consider? Now, diving into yesterday's game, the home run drought is over. And yes, it was a perfect time to face the Houston Astros. The Dodgers just out hit that Astros team. They went 8-3. And it was great to see Kyle Tucker, top of the third inning, hit a solo shot off the Astros. It was the first bomb that broke a streak for the Dodgers. They didn't homer all week last week. And Alex Freeland, he hit a home run the second inning too, and that actually tied the game. So you won the game with some big flies, really. Andy Pages did not come through the base load against Ryan Weiss, but still, it was a good day for the offense. It was a good day for the offense, putting up 8 runs. You gave Yamamoto some run support, 8 runs. I mean, that is another great outing for Yamamoto. And he's had some trouble in the first inning. We'll dive into that, but the kind of the big kicker for Yamamoto this season has been the first inning ERA has really gone gone the wayside. And I'm sure that's like he's the guy that always kind of doesn't hit his groove until the summertime. He really doesn't like really hit things until really like June. That's when he really starts to get going. That's when he's at his very best. But that's something that's definitely worth asking him, is about those first inning issues. This year in the first inning with Yamamoto, it is a ERA where they're hitting 308 against him. He has a 7.71 ERA in the first inning. He's given up 6 runs on 8 hits, a home run in the first inning. Second inning ERA is a 0. Third, 2.57. Fourth, 2.57. Actually, it's a 5.14 ERA in the fifth, and a 1.5 ERA in the sixth, and a 0 ERA in the seventh, a 0 ERA in the eighth. But yeah, if he just cleans up that first inning, he's going to be back to being the elite Yamamoto. But still, 8 strikeouts. I think it was a good outing for him. He gave up 3 runs on 5 hits, 6 innings of work, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk. And the bullpen, they were dominant too. They had 8 of their 9 outs were strikeouts. You had a scoreless inning. Kyle Hertz trending up. Blake Trinan, Jack Dreyer had 2 strikeouts, struck out the side. I mean, Blake Trinan and Jack Dreyer, they struck out the side. So they were dominant, and Kyle Hurt, I think, is trending in the right direction. So great night for the Astros. Anytime, I guess they weren't banging trash cans. I guess not. I guess they weren't cheating. I don't care. I'm never going to be over it. I'll never be over it. But I think it was cool to see Kyle Tucker have a bomb and a big night against his old team. Here was Tucker after the game.
Kyle, you spent 7 seasons here. When you look at just being back here, what is it like for you personally?
I mean, I loved being here and playing here, and I know there's a lot of new faces over here or over there, but it's always nice coming back and seeing some of the guys and reconnecting with them. So it's always nice being back for me.
And then, of course, to see the result today. When you just look at this offense, up and down, you guys are working as a collective. Does it feel like you kind of guys are getting back on track to who you're used to seeing at the plate?
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of good at-bats today and got some huge hits when we needed it. So, some of the things kind of went our way at times, but we just put up some good at-bats when we needed to and drove in some runs when we needed to. So that was a good start for us.
Ballpark to come to, like when you guys are kind of scuffling as a lineup a little bit?
I mean, it just depends. I mean, if we just continue just keeping our head down and grinding and putting up some good at-bats, good things can happen. So we're just going to try and keep doing that no matter where we're playing.
Were you surprised to hear some boos out there tonight when you were walking up?
I don't know. I don't really focus on like crowd noise and stuff. Like most of the time I don't hear a whole lot, so I don't really have a take on it.
Felt like just that the offense felt like a normal game. You just hadn't had a normal game in a while. Is that a fair take?
I don't know. I mean, I know we haven't hit a homer in a while, anyone, but so having a couple of those today was nice. Just good to see like good contact, good at bats, guys getting walks and moving guys over and getting them in was huge. So did a really good job at that throughout the game, and especially at the beginning, first half. So we're just gonna try and do that moving forward as well.
Kind of quality of contact and at bats and approach the last couple of days. Did it feel like it was building towards something like this?
Somewhat. I mean, I had like a couple good at bats. I mean, some I'd not really, but I'm just gonna try and keep barreling balls and see what happens.
Kyle Tucker, you know what? My preseason prediction was that he was going to be the second best hitter on the Dodgers behind Shohei Ohtani. And while he's still climbing up there, above average by 1, he has a 101 weighted runs created plus 4 home runs. It's going to be a much better, I think, next couple of weeks for Tuck. I think you're starting to see better at bats, harder hit balls, lifting more, not as many strikeouts, and I think for him it's just he's settling in. It was always gonna take some time, but you're seeing him settle in nicely in the last couple of weeks, and it was only a matter of time. He's just too talented of a hitter to not have success at some point. I mean, this guy, if you're a great hitter, it's either you are injured or you're getting too old, or you're dealing with something maybe off the field. But you don't all of a sudden wake up and get Space Jam. The Monstars don't come down and take your talents and you're done. Okay, there's always that. All right. But all right, let's get some more news and notes here. We'll get to you guys. I see you guys firing away here on this early edition. We're going to start doing the Dodgers Dugout Live a little earlier, especially when they're on the road, because it gives you more time to watch the show. So that's definitely a fun thing. Now, I do want to talk about Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts was asked about the Astros sign stealing scandal. And he said, quote, "I've gotten past it. There's not a whole lot of the same guys here. The fan base is the fan base, and our fan base has feelings about them, and they have feelings about us. Honestly, for me, I just want to win a series and play good baseball. Honestly, I don't put too much thought into that." So, as he mentions, you don't have a lot of players on the team, but there's still some. Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, Lance McCullers, and there are some guys, of course, in the Dodgers. I mean, Kike Hernandez. I mean, he's a main one for sure. But I don't know about you guys. Yes, you won 3 titles. Yes, the Dodgers won in 2020, 2024, and 2025. But I still think that until Rob Manfred in Major League Baseball puts an asterisk or takes that title away, I'll never be over it. I will never get over the Astros stealing the 2017 World Series title. And I'll tell you, I was at Dodger Stadium covering a game, and I had someone come up to me and say, "Hey, my dad was a lifelong Dodger fan from Brooklyn his entire life. All he wanted to see was the Dodgers win one more World Series, and he died days after the 2017 World Series, and he never got to have that, never got to experience that." And the dude was in near tears telling me this story. So I think of things like that. I think of Clayton Kershaw, and that's the number one reason why I'll never be able. I don't care if I sound like a broken record. I don't care. I really don't. But the number one reason why I'll never be able to get over the 2017 World Series is because of what that did to Clayton Kershaw's legacy. Game 1 of that series, he had 11 strikeouts, no walks. First pitcher to do that in the World Series since Don Newcomb. And it was a dominant performance. 7 innings, gave up a run, pitched very well in that game. Then in Game 5, he was cruising. He really was cruising. And it looked like, oh, wow. It looked like maybe this is going to be Clayton Kershaw's crowning achievement, that he's never going to have to hear about the postseason issues. And in that dreaded game where it looked like he was going to have a virtuoso masterclass of a performance, in that game where Clayton Kershaw was cruising, had a 1-2-3 first, had a 1-2-3 second, had a 1-2-3 third, and then in the 4th inning, that's when the cheating began. Springer walked, Bregman flied to left, Altuve singled, then Carlos Correa, he knew he was sitting fastball. Because of the cheating, he doubled to make it a 4-1 game. And then Gurriel, first pitch was sitting slider, crushed a homer to left to tie it at 4. And then in the 5th inning, Kersh comes out. He walks Springer with 2 outs. Then Bregman walked. Then Altuve, he homered to center, was sitting fastball, and it made it a 7-7 game. Had Clayton Kershaw pitched 7 innings of 1-run ball or 7 innings of shutout ball, and the Dodgers end up winning that series because Houston took a 3-2 lead in that series, if the Dodgers win that Game 5, it's a 3-2 Dodgers lead, and you go back in Game 6, and yes, Jock Peterson had a good series, but I think Clayton Kershaw could have possibly closed out the game in the following game, maybe. You never know. You could have gone Yamamoto, but it could have, at the very least, it would have been a very strong performance with 2 strong World Series starts, and then also it was a moment where Kersh would have won the World Series MVP. And then it wouldn't matter what happened in 2018 or 2019 or whatever. Like, he would have a World Series MVP, and I think that his status as an all-time great pitcher would have been elevated. So F the Trastros, every single person in that organization, every single one of those players, every single one of those fans that considers that a real title, F them all. Like, straight up. Like, no mercy. All hatred, like, period, 10 out of 10 hatred, like, literally, like Clayton Kershaw, and I've talked to Kersh, man, like they did psychological damage to him. Like, they really did. Like, you know what I mean? Like they really did. Like, they hurt his legacy, and they did permanent damage to his legacy. So, I'll never get over it. I'll never get over it, for sure. So, all right, we got, here we go. Yeah, exactly. When Douglas becomes a grandpa, he's going to talk his grandkids to sleep with that story. Remember, Conforto had a great July last year. You're killing me, Dmac. What up, Sammy Boy Smith? Why do you always say that, class, when you're eating breakfast? I always eat breakfast. Dmac, I'm getting mad all over again, Addy. The H-Town Rubbermaid Trastros. I love that. Because Conforto, okay, Steven Richard, I give the 2017 World Series to the Dodgers. Dave Roberts has 4 World Series in 9 years. There we go. I mean, but this is the thing. You can't really do that because we don't know if the Dodgers would have beat the Yankees, but at least would have stalled that for sure. I don't want them to give the title to the Dodgers. I just want them to take away from the Astros. Here we go. We got Keith Potter. Kershaw risk his legacy to pitch the Dodgers to the playoffs when it was just Kershaw and a bunch of dudes. Exactly, Keith. No doubt about it. The Martian, I love this. I think about Andre Ethier and how he didn't get that title either. That's a great point too, for sure. We've got here we go. We absolutely. Let's hit this a super chat here. Dmac, I don't know if you saw my super chat, but I think Yamamoto's nickname could be the Cowboy, since he strikes out fools like a gunslinger, and his warm-up song sounds like it came from a Western. The Cowboy? I mean, honestly, I'm here for the creativity. And I got another super chat from Tom Vernia as well. Appreciate the super chat, though, and I love it. Let's do it. The Cowboy, I'll start using it. Yamamoto, the Cowboy. Tom Vernia, it isn't an Ohtani not hitting problem. It's the entire team offense having a lack of focus. Dodgers are lacking that punch the other team in the mouth swagger they used to have. Yeah, I think they're just cold. I mean, hitting around the league is tough. They have great pitching, but yeah, sure. I mean, I think... I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, this is a team that just came out back-to-back World Series and went to a historically great Blue Jays team and won 2 on the road in Game 6 and 7 with this same group, essentially this entire same group. So I never want to hear this team has the no swagger, all that stuff. That's the worst narrative I've ever actually heard about the Dodgers. Dmac is a wanted man in Houston. What I had egg whites in a feta wrap with eggs. I'm with you, Dmac. If the Astros and the Red Sox don't cheat, Kershaw gets 5 rings. BL Boy, Dmac, the Dodgers should sue the league to force them to wear an asterisk in all print and visual media when the World Series mentioned. Same for Cooperstown. Dmac, Lakers in 7. Yama Cowboy. I doubt Yama's been anywhere near a horse. LOL from Keith Potter. Yeah, good. I like it. All right, we got nice. Yeah. So I certainly believe that. Now, as far as the roster solution and kind of where they're at, I see you guys asking me about who will take that spot. We'll see. I mean, I still think that Robleski's got it. There's no doubt they can move off of him from that standpoint, and he's certainly someone that you're going to have there. Now, Dmac, what is up with the slower program for Tommy Edman? Yeah, that's what Dave Roberts said yesterday, the slower program for him. Dave said, quote, slow program for Tommy, kind of some soreness, some residual soreness. So we kind of backed him off a little bit. Nothing too alarming, but that's just on a slower program. So, yeah, they're just – Edmonds just – man, I mean, that ankle, man, it's just whether it's they're just being overly cautious or whatever it is, that's just the plan for him. And that's definitely it. That they're not going to change anything. Dmac, what's up with Dalton Rushing? Are you over the antics? This is from Joe Magazzini. Look, he said – Dalton Rushing told the California Post, quote, "You never want to be viewed as a guy like that from the opposing teams. You want guys to hate playing against you because of the player you are and how great you are on a baseball field, not because of the verbalized things you say." So, yeah, I mean, there's that for sure. But I still think that, too, like, just be who you are. If that's who you are, then fine. I do think it can get tiring for him and exhausting. He doesn't want to develop that kind of reputation. And when he does struggle, it'll be amplified and people point that kind of stuff out. But I still think it's authentic to him, so I'm not overly worried about it. We got Tom Yed might come off the bench from Get Down or Lay Down. I agree. Andre Ether should have gotten 2017 World Series and Matt Kemp 2018 World Series. Keith Potter, Robo's velo has been down in each start. Kind of worried about that, but Robo has been great so far. The results have been there. Some of the expected numbers kind of point to a possible regression. I kind of think it's one of those things where if he did start to struggle, he just wants to help this team any way he can. And if that is as a swing guy coming out of the bullpen, we know that he's been able to excel in that role as well. So I think that he'd be open to that if you start to see a big decline. I don't think you're going to, but still, I think that that is going to be a thing for sure. They're just going to keep going with him to make sure that this is sustainable. And if he does start to show some cracks, they might revisit it. But, all right, guys, we are running out of time. So let's get to the walk-off.
The walk-off.
Hits the ball to right field. She is gone!
All right, today for the walk-off, check this out. Snoop Dogg. Look at Snoop was on stage with a Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto shirt that looks like the two of America's most wanted Snoop and Tupac music video. So I did not have that on my bingo card. Shohei Ohtani and Yamamoto being on that picture there. But hey, Snoop Dogg, he's a West Coast legend. And there's no doubt about it that he is he's always going to be there, and you got to support that. I also thought this was pretty hilarious too. I saw this on Reddit. It's if the Dodgers were dogs, like which dogs would they be? And yeah, this is pretty awesome. The Los Angeles Doggers. Here we go. This is awesome. This is from Reddit user average satanic person. Wow, it's a pretty intense name right there. But you look at this. The Dodgers as dogs, and who would they be? You got Kike as the Chihuahua. You got the Golden Retriever. You got I believe that is Hae-Sung Kim as a little Pomeranian. It looks like we've got. What else we got? Yeah, you got. I like Muncie as the bulldog. Muncie as a bulldog. You've got Mookie. Is that like a kind of? It looks like maybe it could be a bull terrier. You see the Golden Retrievers. We've got. Look at the perfect one is look at Dalton Rushing the pit bull. I like that, and it looks like Will Klein's a chow there, which is great. But Andy Paz is the big dog. We know that. But that is going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at Dmac_LA. If you haven't yet, do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Drop a like. Drop a comment down below. And remember that nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. Until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
And when the upcoming winter gives way to spring, rest assured, once again, it will be time for Dodger baseball.